There's something different about you. And it's not just your presence. It's your energy. It's your aura. It's the way you walk into a room and everything feels different. People can't always put their finger on it, but they feel it. It's not arrogance. It's not ego. It's a quiet force, a divine presence. And here's the truth you may have never fully embraced. You are the storm, and that's why peace follows you. Have you ever noticed that when you show up, things shift? People calm down. Clarity comes. Hidden truths surface. It's not by chance. Your spirit is a divine disruptor, and your peace is not passive. It's powerful. People mistake your calm nature for softness, but what they don't realize is that your peace was forged in the fire. You earned that calm. You became the eye of the storm because you survived everything that tried to destroy you. And the reason life feels so intense around you sometimes is because your presence stirs everything. Light, darkness, hidden motives, unspoken pain. Your energy demands alignment. Chosen one, you didn't just become peaceful. You became peace. And it wasn't easy. You had to fight for that stillness. You had to go through emotional battles, spiritual warfare, betrayals that shook your soul. You had to endure chaos that most people couldn't handle. But instead of letting it consume you, you transformed. You took all that noise, all that pain, and transmuted it into wisdom, into stability, into truth. So now when people meet you, they feel something ancient, something sacred, something unshakable. That's not because you're pretending to be strong. It's because you are strong, and not the kind of strength the world glorifies. Not the loud, aggressive, attention-seeking strength. No, your power is quiet, stable, constant, like the center of a storm. People don't understand why you make them feel exposed, why suddenly they're rethinking their choices or confronting parts of themselves they've avoided for years. It's because your peace reveals what chaos tried to cover. You walk in truth, and that kind of energy is impossible to ignore. You've probably noticed that you don't even have to speak sometimes. Just your silence, your gaze, your posture, your stillness. It speaks volumes. That's the kind of spiritual authority you carry. It's not loud. It's felt. And yes, some people will be drawn to you because of this. They'll say they want your peace, your wisdom, your energy. But when they get too close, they'll realize that proximity to your energy requires accountability. It requires growth. It requires alignment. And not everyone is ready for that. So they'll pull away, or try to dim your light, or even try to cause confusion just to regain a sense of control. Don't take that personally. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of what your presence stirs up in others. You don't even have to try to be powerful. You just are. And that triggers people who are still at war with themselves. You've probably had people try to compete with you, not even knowing what you've been through. They try to match your calm, not realizing it came from surviving chaos. They try to copy your light, not realizing it was born from darkness. They try to mimic your faith, not realizing you built it through heartbreak, loss, and being on your knees crying out to God when no one was watching. You weren't given this peace. You became it. You earned it. That's why no one can take it from you. That's why no storm outside of you can shake what's within you. Because you are the storm, and you don't just bring change. You are change. Your growth, your transformation, your healing. It sends shockwaves through spiritual realms. You weren't made to fit in. You were made to disrupt. Not in a chaotic way, but in a divinely ordered way. Your presence brings clarity. You expose what's false, what's hidden, what's fake. And yes, that makes people uncomfortable. But that's the point. You didn't come to make everyone feel safe in their illusions. You came to call things higher. And peace, real peace, requires truth. So when you walk into spaces and people start acting differently, don't shrink. When the energy feels tense, don't question yourself. You're not the problem. You're the mirror. You reflect what people are trying to ignore. You're the calm that shows them just how noisy their spirit has become. And here's the wild part. Even your enemies will feel safe around you. Not because they love you, but because your peace is so real, even their chaos wants to rest when it's near you. But don't mistake that for alignment. Just because they feel drawn to you doesn't mean they're meant to go where you're going. This is where the chosen one must use discernment, because your peace is valuable. It's healing. It's magnetic. And people will come to drink from your well. But not everyone comes to refill. Some come to drain. Some come to copy. Some come to control. And it's your job to guard your peace like the sacred gift it is. You've carried it through too much to give it away carelessly. You've protected it from your past. You've maintained it through storms. And now, you're learning how to live in it fully, unapologetically. Let that sink in. You're not chasing peace anymore. You are the peace. You bring it with you wherever you go. And when you leave, people feel the difference. They miss the stillness, the clarity, the calm. That's your legacy. And as you keep walking forward in your calling, you'll notice something beautiful. You'll start attracting people, places, and opportunities that honor your peace. You won't have to fight to be understood. You won't have to explain your energy. You won't have to tone yourself down to fit in. Because the more you walk in your peace, the more your environment begins to reflect it. The chaos falls away. The confusion lifts. The doors that once slammed shut begin to open. Why? Because you're finally aligned. And peace, it attracts everything that was always meant for you. So don't worry about who walked away. Don't question why you outgrew certain spaces. Don't try to force what no longer fits. Peace has a frequency. And when you become it, anything that doesn't match it has no choice but to fade. You didn't get here overnight. You didn't just wake up one morning with this inner stillness, this clarity, this sense of alignment. It came from everything you survived. From every time you were knocked down and got back up. From every moment you sat in silence with yourself and chose healing over revenge, growth over comfort, purpose over distraction. And now, because of that, your life carries a frequency that either calms the room or shakes it up. Sometimes both. But make no mistake, this isn't weakness. This is spiritual maturity. This is divine refinement. This is what it looks like when someone stops living from their wounds and starts living from their wisdom. That's why you don't react the same anymore. You don't argue with small minds. You don't waste time proving your worth. You don't engage in chaos just because it invites you. Why? Because you've realized your energy is too precious to be spent carelessly. And when you live like this, when you carry that kind of intentional peace, you become dangerous to the enemy. Because now you're not just surviving storms, you're moving through them like they were meant to serve you. You're no longer fighting battles that were meant to distract you. You're walking with God, fully aware of who you are, and fully aligned with where you're going. That's why the enemy tried so hard to break your peace. That's why you were hit with so many distractions, emotional triggers, unnecessary drama. The plan wasn't just to hurt you, it was to make you chaotic within. Because if the enemy can disturb your inner world, your outer world follows. But it didn't work. Instead, every attack trained you. Every storm centered you. Every betrayal taught you how to let go. Every delay reminded you to trust in divine timing. And now you're not just walking in peace, you're commanding it. Understand this. Peace is not passive. It's not soft. It's not sitting in a corner humming and hoping everything works out. Peace is power under control. Peace is knowing who you are and not needing to convince anyone else. Peace is having the authority to speak but choosing silence because you've learned that God handles what you don't have to. Peace is not the absence of storms. It's the awareness that the storm doesn't move you anymore. People see your calm and they think you've had it easy. They don't know that your calm was purchased with tears, with heartbreak, with lonely nights, with years of unlearning trauma and rewiring your mind to believe you were still worthy of goodness. They see your grace, and they don't realize it came from crawling out of situations that would have destroyed them. So don't you dare shrink to make others comfortable. Don't you dare dim your peace so people can stay distracted. You were chosen for this level of clarity. And you were trusted with this storm because God knew you wouldn't be destroyed by it. He knew you would become something stronger because of it. And now, you're entering a season where peace is no longer a luxury. It's a lifestyle. You're no longer entertaining what drains you. You're no longer explaining your boundaries. You're no longer allowing access to people who bring noise to your quiet. You're walking differently, speaking differently, thinking differently. Because your identity is no longer tied to who you used to be. It's tied to who you've become through the process. This is why so many people from your past won't recognize you anymore. It's not because you've changed. It's because you've elevated. You stopped living from survival and started living from purpose. And people who only knew the broken version of you will never understand the powerful version of you now. Let them be confused. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand you. You don't owe them clarity. You don't owe them closure. You only owe yourself the freedom to keep becoming. And yes, this road can get lonely sometimes, because not everyone is meant to walk in this level of peace. Some people thrive in chaos. They bond through dysfunction. They feel safe in confusion. And when you refuse to participate in that energy anymore, they'll say you've changed. Let them. Your destiny requires discipline. Your calling requires clarity. And your future can't be built on shaky ground. That's why God removed people. That's why He closed doors. That's why He made you walk alone for a season. He was protecting your peace, training your discernment, teaching you that the storm was never outside of you. It was always part of what made you powerful. You are not just peaceful. You are peace. You are not just strong. You are strength. You are not just chosen. You are anointed. And because of that, you'll keep walking into spaces that try to shake you. You'll keep being placed in rooms where your presence feels too loud, even when you're silent. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your spirit is a storm, a divine storm that stirs, shifts, and awakens everything around it. And the more aligned you become, the more your energy will demand truth from everyone around you. People won't be able to lie to themselves around you. That's your gift. That's your mantle. That's your responsibility. So carry it well. Don't second guess it anymore. Don't try to water it down. Don't keep apologizing for how intense your presence feels to those who haven't done the work. You are no longer obligated to make yourself small so others don't feel challenged. You've spent years unraveling generational pain, silencing internal critics, and building a foundation that is not shaken by rejection, loss, or delay. That peace people feel when they're around you. That's the result of spiritual warfare they never saw. That's the victory you carry in your voice, in your body language, in the way you walk into a room like you belong, even if no one ever invited you. And that's why peace follows you. It's not a coincidence. It's not luck. It's not something you stumbled into. It's the natural byproduct of the work you did in secret, the prayers you cried out when no one was listening, the healing you committed to when it felt like nothing was changing, the obedience to let go when all you wanted was to hold on. So now when you speak, people feel truth. When you move, people feel conviction. When you smile, it carries weight, because it's not coming from someone pretending. It's coming from someone who lived through it, who endured it, who conquered it. You are no longer available for spiritual games. You are no longer open to chaotic cycles. You are no longer interested in conversations that go in circles and relationships that drain your soul. And it's not because you're arrogant. It's because you finally love yourself enough to protect your peace like your life depends on it. Because spiritually, it does. The enemy knew what would happen if you ever got to this place. That's why the attacks were so relentless. That's why the heartbreaks were back to back. That's why you felt isolated for so long. He was hoping the pain would bury you, but instead, it birthed you. You came out of it with eyes that see through illusions, a heart that filters through divine truth, a voice that shakes the room without needing to yell, and a walk that can't be duplicated because it was carved in the fire of affliction. Now you're no longer confused by rejection. You understand that when someone walks away, it's divine protection. When things don't work out, it's because something greater is coming. When the door closes, it's because God is about to open one that doesn't require you to shrink to fit inside. This is spiritual maturity. This is elevation. This is alignment. And the most powerful part of it all, you no longer need validation to keep going. You no longer wait for applause to take the next step. You no longer rely on people to understand your path in order for it to be real. You know now, it's real because you lived it, because God confirmed it, because your spirit won't let you forget it. Your peace has become your compass. Your inner stillness has become your greatest flex. And your refusal to let anything steal your clarity, that's what makes you unstoppable. From this moment on, let this be your mantra. I am not going back. I am not explaining what God confirmed. I am not lowering my energy to be accepted by people who haven't grown. I am not dimming my peace so others can remain in chaos. I am the storm. I am the shift. I am the one sent to break the cycle, shift the atmosphere, and raise the frequency. And because of that, I will walk in power. I will speak in love. I will move with intention. And I will stay deeply connected to the peace that I paid for with every silent battle I won. Let this season be the one where you finally understand. You were never meant to just survive the storm. You are the storm. And peace, it follows you because it recognizes its source. So walk in rooms like you're the answer to the prayers they didn't even know they were praying. Hold your head high even when the path is unclear. Speak when you're led, and remain silent when your presence is enough. Stop second-guessing the way your energy shifts things. Stop apologizing for being different. Stop explaining what was divinely given. And never forget, God didn't bring you this far to play small. He brought you this far to stand tall, to walk boldly, and to release the kind of peace that transforms every space you enter. You are the storm. You are the calm. You are the living proof that healing is real, transformation is possible, and divine peace is the most powerful weapon on this earth. Let the world adjust. Call to action. Now that you've heard this powerful message, I want to hear from you. If this spoke to your spirit and you're ready to rise above every attack, take a moment to comment, I am the storm below. Declare your strength, your clarity, and your divine assignment. Don't forget to hit that like button if you feel inspired, and share this message with someone who needs to hear it. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you never miss a message of encouragement, empowerment, and divine truth. Remember, you were chosen for this moment. If you want to go even deeper and support the channel, consider joining my YouTube membership for exclusive content, behind-the-scenes access, and more. Or you can use super thanks to show your appreciation for the effort that goes into creating this content. Your support means the world to me. You can also check out my shop tab for merchandise that helps support this channel and keeps the messages flowing. For more videos like this, click on the ones in the end screen. Let's keep walking together in faith, and as always, stay connected to your divine purpose. God's plan is unfolding, and you are part of something greater than you could ever imagine.